If anybody tells you that any woman that has PCOS, they don't get pregnant, I'm telling you, it's far from the truth. Because if you do your diagnosis very well, it is possible that a woman that has PCOS can get pregnant. But I'm not saying this statement is not it's not a conventional statement. What do I mean? It means that you need to do the right thing, then evaluate that PCOS, and you need to talk to the right person, or you talk to the right professional that they understand how PCOS could be managed for a woman to get pregnant. So if you have PCOS, number one, what is PCOS? PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome. That means it's a problem. It's a endocrine problem that makes a woman hormones not to balance, and because that hormone is not balanced, the ovary will not produce the right eggs for a woman to get pregnant. That is the best way I can explain that. You will be able to understand. Whereby the hormones, the fertility hormone of a woman is not balanced to the extent that the ovaries will not produce the mature or dominant eggs that a woman could release in implant tube for sperm to react with. When you have hormonal imbalance and these hormones are not being produced in the right proportion, we will now tell you this hormone is not balanced. And when this hormone is not balanced, your ovaries will react to it and fail to produce egg. What are the hormones we are talking about? We are talking about LH, luteinizing hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, prolactin, and progesterone. These are the fertility hormones that it must be balanced in any woman's body for that woman to get pregnant. You see, some professionals will tell you that you should do hormonal test second or third day of your menstrual cycle. I want to tell you this evening that you do not need to do any hormones, LH and FSH, especially at third day or second day of your menstrual period, if the lab or the hospital that you are going to for treatment could do AMH, anti-malarial hormone. What is AMH? AMH is hormones that determine the quality of eggs in your ovary. A patient to go and do AMH, to go and do FSH and LH at second day of their menstrual cycle. At any other day of the menstrual cycle, these two hormones is not stable. So now it comes to a time that we now find out that there's a test we call anti-malarial hormone. This hormone can tell us the quality of eggs a woman is producing at any time of menstrual cycle. I'm not saying menstrual period, which means FSH and LH is not stable at any other time of menstrual cycle. They're only stable at beginning of menstrual cycle. So that is why we normally request in the past that a woman should go for LH and FSH at beginning of their menstrual cycle. But AMH is more stable and it will give us a good result, a good idea, and the real picture of what is the quality of eggs in your ovary at any time of your menstrual cycle. So if anybody is telling you go and do FSH and LH when you are menstruating, it's better you go and do AMH for you to have idea what is the quality of eggs you are producing. So now LH and FSH, these are the hormones that we use to determine the ovarian function of any woman. But if you can do AMH, you do not need to do this hormone or do this test at second or third day of your menstrual period. These two hormones are the hormones that determine how a woman will produce egg. And that hormone starts stimulating the follicle. That thing, the thing that will turn to eggs in a woman's ovary at the beginning of their ovary, of their menstrual cycle. So, if now you want to find out whether you have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, this is a problem that doesn't allow women to get pregnant because your ovaries supposed to produce a dominant follicle, at least one follicle that is mature, that is good and that is of good quality, at least one dominant follicle at every menstrual cycle. That means your ovaries should produce one dominant egg at every menstrual cycle, which means anything from day 10 of your menstrual cycle, the two ovaries, at least one follicle must be mature, must be dominant. Yes, it means that ovary, any of the ovaries, one ovaries or the two ovaries, will not produce dominant follicle. If you do scan will see different sizes of eggs in any of the ovaries. None of them will be dominant, which means none of them will mature and drops as egg sperm supposed to react with. What normally causes this? What is causing it is hormonal imbalance. How do you now know that you have PCOS? Number one, when you do LH and FSH, maybe at second or third day of your menstrual period, or at any time of your period, of your cycle, you now find out that the LH and FSH result will now look like LH to FSH will now be like ratio 3:1. That means if your FSH is like 1, your LH is like 3, that means you have PCOS. Or maybe your FSH is like 3 and your LH is like 9 or 10, it means you have PCOS. That hormone is not balanced. Out of the 4 hormones, LH, FSH, prolactin, progesterone, majority of professionals, when they do these tests for a woman, they always comment about low progesterone, high progesterone, low prolactin, high prolactin. Some of them fail to realize that the value of FSH, the value of LH, they are very important in order for you to know how that woman's fertility is behaving. They have forgotten. So some of them, when you now go to laboratory and you go and do a hormonal test, majority of the professionals will start commenting. They won't be able, some of them find it difficult to interpret the value of LH and FSH they are getting. If your value, check the result in your hands. Check that result in your hand. If the value of your LH to FSH is like ratio close to ratio 3:1, that means you have PCOS in your hormones. Which means, like I told you, note it down. That is number 1. Have PCOS in your hormonal test. Number 2, if you do AMH at any time of menstrual cycle, from day 1 to day 28, even when you are menstruating, if you do AMH and you now find out that the value is greater than 3.5, it means you have PCOS. So now, it's now shown now that it is possible for somebody to have a 2